Welcome to the Momsense Podcast. I'm Kambria.
I'm Kyleigh.
And today we're going to talk about leaving your mark. So I have a fun story from this weekend, and Kyleigh and I kind of touched base on this. She responded to a story that I had posted, and my nephew came to wrap our house this weekend, which it was too fun. So my sister-in-law let me know, and Dean told Kinsey too, so I mean,
Hey, I'm coming.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
I'm coming to TP your house.
So Kinsey gets her girls over, and obviously we have to go get water guns and water balloons and all of the things because we were going to make this fun. So ended up being the most fun night. I literally stood outside of my house as they're like wrapping the house and running around all crazy, having a blast. I stood out there like with the water hose just squirting them all. And then terrible thing to do if somebody's toilet papering your house.
I didn't think about that.
There's literally still a roll of toilet paper
stuck.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's fine.
Yeah, I didn't think about that till you just said that. Water guns and toilet paper, probably not.
Yeah. And water balloons. 200 water balloons.
Oh my gosh.
So our yard's looks like confetti. But, in saying that and in having the conversation about that memory, I'm super thankful to all of the people who commented on my story and were like, I love this. You're letting kids be kids. This is so good.
So fun.
And as Kyleigh and I were talking about it, she's like, man, that's a core memory. And that's something, Kinsey's not going to forget that. I remember wrapping houses when I was in high school. And leaving your mark as a parent and being the fun parent and not always, wrapping houses and all of that, but just not being a couch potato mom, a cell phone scroller mom.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
I would say it's easy. I am guilty of it myself, of sitting at the dinner table and, putting my phone up while Xander is eating and just mindlessly scrolling. And I have to be super cognizant of it, of put your phone down.
Yes. It's so important. Put your phone down. Pay attention to your kids and make memories because, geez, even Xander, he's not going to remember it, but you are.
Yeah.
And as they get older, you're leaving a mark. You're leaving
absolutely
a legacy.
Absolutely.
And so.
Yeah. So Cam's video, like she said, was, to me, sparked a core memory of my own. And my dad growing up was so involved with us as kids. And he did the, taking us to go and wrap people's houses. And, for Halloween and stuff, he would, we had a pickup truck. He would throw us in the back of the truck and go drive us around to go trick-or-treating. And we did all of that, crazy fun stuff. I think about, I have pictures of, being beat up, my hips busted, scraped up arms because my dad would, run around the house and chase me with a marker to try and, draw my face. It's the silly things, right?
It's the silly things.
It's the silly stuff that are absolutely huge memories for me. And I love that you guys are instilling that in the kids because, again, even now as an adult, I think about that stuff for Xander and making sure that I am the fun mom. And, 5 years ago, I lost my dad. It was 5 years in July. And so that was really hard. It was really hard to swallow that pill of this incredibly happy and energetic man. Unfortunately, he took his own life. And so want to highlight that because September is Suicide Awareness Month. And it's such a taboo subject. Nobody wants to talk about it. But it just goes back to making your mark.
Yeah.
And one day, no matter who you are, you are going to leave the earth, right? Yeah. Your kids, the way that it should be, is that your kids are going to be here without you at some point.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that the things that they remember about you are those things. Moments.
Yes.
Are those oh my gosh, my parents, they bought us water balloons and they bought us water guns. And it doesn't have to be monetary of they bought us things, but they participated with us.
They did something.
They not only gave us the things to be able to have a freaking blast.
Yes.
But they had a blast with us.
The funniest part about it, so Justin Instacarted a Nerf.
No, he didn't.
I'm not even kidding. A Nerf. It shoots out those little Orbeez. Like, you gotta put them in water and they grow.
Yes.
Justin freaking Instacarted one of those to our house so that he could shoot the boys as they're running around. We literally still have, I think, 2,000 Orbeez.
Oh my
They're on our kitchen counter.
That's so funny.
Still. And mind you, this is the guy who's like, we're saving money right now.
Yeah.
We're saving money. I'm like,
Oh, he was, I saw your video. He was strapped and ready to go.
Oh, man. And having that, you know, memory, even just like me as a wife, thinking back on that, I'm like, oh, I love him. Like,
it's so fun to see your husband, your partner, the person that like you fell in love with, be a parent.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun. Like, it's probably one of my favorite things to watch Brady and Xander interact.
Yeah.
Last night, Xander was in the bath, and we do bath every night. And Brady has been like, he'll stand in the doorway, and where the tub is, the mirror is in front of it. So Brady will come in the door and like stand in the mirror and like peek his head in.
Aww.
And Xander loves it. He like giggles and smiles really big. And so last night at one point, I had the towel on the door handle.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed the towel to wipe my hands because they were wet. And when I did, the door started to open. And Xander like stood up real fast and looked in the mirror.
Like, where is he?
He was looking for his daddy. And Brady wasn't there. But that just goes to show you those teeny tiny moments.
Yes.
They make an impact.
They do.
They make such an impact. Especially when they're little brains at that age.
Yes.
Don't remember a whole lot, but they remember.
It's crazy how much
they
pick
remember
up.
those fun things.
Yep. It's crazy how much they pick up and how much your energy rubs off on them.
It does.
The joy. And I mean, I saw something the other day that said parents who have dance parties with their kids are more likely to be joyful. And let me tell you what, the Robinson household, we're dancing all the time.
The Core household too.
I mean,
bath time. I turn music on.
Yes.
And we dance and sing and have a good time. We get in the car. I pretty much always have music going.
Yeah.
We get in the car, turn music on. Xander's, bobbing in the back. We like to have a good time.
Jet is always like, louder, mommy, another song. This one's not
Turn
fun.
it up.
Yes. And I mean, it's so funny. So he listens to Crazy Frog, which is extremely obnoxious.
I can see him just like bouncing around.
Oh, he loves it. Now Oakley loves it. And I'll just look over at Kenzie and I'm just like, sorry. And
It's
her
a
friends
big
will be in
anger.
the car. I'm like, yeah,
One day you'll understand.
Yeah, exactly. But you pointed out something so great, and it is fun to leave your mark with your spouse. Mm-hmm. And as you grow old together, going back and looking at those memories that the kids don't remember, but you do, and it's so fun. First of all, being married to your best friend. And second of all, having kids and doing life together. And I mean, like, I can't wait till you tell me one day about how y'all took Xander to go wrap the house, or
Yep. I know, my husband will be like, I'm not doing that. I'm be like, let's go.
Yeah.
You fund the party, I will be the party.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Like, I got the Costco pack of paper, toilet paper in the back.
Oh man. And I think that's also part of, being a girl mom, but being a boy mom is like, the boys are like, let's go TP at the house, and the girls like revenge.
Exactly.
Right? So it will absolutely be so much fun. I those are the things as a parent that you don't think about looking forward to
until you see it.
And you're like, oh yeah, I am excited for
those
those
days.
days.
For you, it sparked that great memory with your dad. And you're like, you wouldn't have just thought of that out of the blue.
No.
But it puts that in your heart, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow.
Well, and it's just such a good reminder to not take any moment, the big, the small, for granted. Yeah. It reminds you to be not just a parent, but an intentional parent.
Yes, and be present.
Be present. It's so huge. And we as adults, like, we deserve to have fun too. Exactly. Parenting is hard.
It is hard.
Have fun when you can.
I sure was out there with a water hose just squirting all the time. And then
Are Oakley and Jed asleep while this is happening?
Oakley and Jed are asleep. Then at one point, so Kinsey, we throw this blue paint at Dean.
Oh, man.
And, Dean's friend and Carrington and Landry are all like still battling back and forth. And I'm like, where did Kenzie and Dean go? Kenzie takes Dean inside, washes his face, like the sweetest cousin. Literally has her like bougie, like drunken elephant stuff or whatever, and is washing his face. And then they go back outside and continue.
That's so funny.
It was funny. And it's, you know, leaving your mark, having cousins.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Growing up with cousins.
So on my mom's side, the side of the family that I spent majority of my time with as a child, I have one cousin, and he's my brother's age. So I've got two brothers. They are, how old are they now? Colton is will be 23 in November, and Caden is 21, maybe just turned 22. I don't know. They're younger than me.
Yeah, they're younger.
And Hunter is right there in the mix of all of that, and so you know. Growing up, only girl, 3 boys, but like we did everything together.
Yep.
Basically, Hunter was another sibling, and that was so fun to grow up that way. And I prayed so much about Xander having the opportunity to grow up with cousins.
Yeah.
And you know, Brady's sisters, they had children way earlier than we did. They're older, so you know, of course, but I was a little bit sad because their kids would be much older than Xander. Like, Adeline, our oldest niece, she's almost 11, and so there's quite a bit of gap there. But of course, Brady's sister Jessica, she recently had a baby, and so Xander and Lucas are like 6-ish months apart. So getting to see them interact is going to be so much fun. Yeah. They are already
a handful.
Already hot messes. But yeah, having cousins. Like,
having cousins is like, I mean,
what a blessing.
I grew up with my 3 cousins on my mom's side. We were together all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, Zane, who's on Thrive coaching with Justin, we used to teach him cheer routines because he was a baby. And I mean, we were together all the time. So many memories made. And for me, that was very impactful because being only a child, there's so much loneliness. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I had them was so important. And I mean, I'm so blessed that my kids all have cousins close to them. And I mean, our house might be a disaster sometimes.
That's okay.
The other day, I woke up and there was goldfish everywhere. And I was just like, well, they had fun. And oh, well, I wasn't going to clean it up before bed.
Have you seen those like signs? I need to get one that says like, please excuse the mess, we're living life.
Yeah.
Or we're busy living life, or whatever it says of that nature. And that's so true. I am that person that, you know, at the end of the night, the house needs to be picked up, and if my house is a mess, my head is a mess sort of situation. Oh, yeah. But the one room in our house that I would say probably stays messy is Xander's room, because the toys are always dumped out. It's like, why put the toys away when you're just going to dump them out again?
Exactly.
Because he's making memories. He's having a good time. He's playing and learning and growing. And so those things of like, yep, there's goldfish everywhere, whatever. The kids had fun.
Yep.
The mess can be cleaned up.
Exactly. And I really struggled for a long time letting my kids have fun, letting my kids make a mess, because for me, it's like, okay, being an only child, you make this mess, then you clean it up, and then you go make another mess, and then you clean it up. Well, now I got 3 of them, and there's just a mess everywhere.
One's making a mess over here, one's making a mess over there. You can't keep up with them.
And I want them to have fun. I want everyone to come to my house and feel at home.
Yeah.
Go get what's in the pantry, dump the toys out, whatever. Mm-hmm. It can all be cleaned. And that's leaving your mark as a parent. It's letting them do that. I mean, the other night we had Jet, Sawyer, Stetson, Oakley, and another friend's son over, and they just had a ball.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. Jet got to stay up past his bedtime, so that was cool for him. And, you know, they just had a blast. And it was so fun watching them, you know, interact and have fun and play. And now Stetson and Oakley are kind of thinking they're in the game.
Yep.
The next morning we woke up, and we had Jet's soccer game, which we'll touch on that here in a bit. And, you know, we had Jet's soccer game. After the soccer game, my cousin Celine, which is my cousin I grew up with, and Elijah came over, and they played too. And at this point, Elijah, he'll be 1 in October. So I'm like, okay, I have to make sure there's not stuff on the floor that he can choke on. So I did hurry up and stress clean. But I mean, we had 2 fun-filled cousin days. Like,
oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that. We see Brady's family. We do try every weekend. Doesn't always happen. We make an attempt, if not 2 weekends out of the month, that, we have time with them. Yeah. For the kids to play. And even though like Adeline and Jackson are older, they love to play with Xander and Lucas.
Yes, that's so
and we have 2 other nieces. They live in Iowa, so we don't get to see them as often. But when they do come to town, they also love to play with the babies. And so it's just, gosh, we're blessed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, Kinsey has Dean and Alexander and Asen, which is her uncle, but, still same concept.
Yeah.
Making those core memories, growing up together, growing up with somebody that, you can just go to their house and feel at home. It's so important to just have that place. And ultimately, your kids you can just let them run wild and you get to hang out.
Yeah. I always, growing up, our house was like the house that everybody came to. My parents converted our garage into like a game room. So we had like the Wii and like the basketball net thing in the garage and all of that stuff. And so, our house was like the house to come and hang out at. And I hope and pray that one day, whenever Xander and if we have any more, that all of our children feel that way and their friends feel that way. And then, like you said, you build friendships with their parents and then everybody comes over and we always did like Halloween parties. The holidays are my favorite.
Yep.
Oh, we did like the Halloween parties. We had the big chili cookout and all of that stuff. And that was always just, again, such a mark and such a core memory for me to see my parents being social.
Yes.
And which in turn made me social.
Yes.
And so I hope that our house is the house that you're describing for you guys.
Yeah.
Someday.
The fun house.
Yeah.
You got to be the fun house.
Yeah. There's no, and here's the other thing. This is a whole different topic. Is like your house is the fun house, but your house is also the comfort house. Like somebody in need who maybe they need somewhere to go for Christmas. They need somewhere to go for Thanksgiving because they don't have a family or they're having family problems or their parents can't afford it or whatever else. That your house is that safe haven. Absolutely. That people feel comfortable coming there. They want to be there.
Or come get whatever you want in my pantry if it's there. Like if you come to my house as a guest, just help yourself. I'm a terrible host.
Yeah.
Like, help yourself. Whatever's there, you can have it. Sure.
Yes.
And, it's so important to have others feeling that comfortable.
And it just, again, I hit this topic a lot, but it makes... You're leaving your mark, and it teaches your children kindness.
And that's a legacy that continues to be passed down.
I was talking to one of Xander's teachers the other day. She was talking to me about just how sweet he was, and I just said, if I do nothing right, if I teach my son to be kind and to love others, I've done a good job.
Absolutely.
All I care is that he's kind.
Exactly. So I have a funny thing to piggyback off of that. It's a little bit of a humble brag, but okay. Hold on, let me get my phone. This is really funny, and it really helps you get a grasp of what your children see in you, ultimately. So, Kinsey texts me the other day a picture of her school project. I know you can't see that, but it's her role model.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry if you're telling me it's you.
She picked 3. She picked 3. My role model. One of my role models is my mom. I love my mom so much, and I look up to her a lot. I look up to her because she is so nice to everyone and always has a smile on her face. She's a very hard worker and will never give up. She is the best mom ever, and I want to be like her when I grow up. She is such a great mom and stays organized somehow with so much in her life. And even though some people say that she doesn't work or that she doesn't do anything all day, she definitely does.
She's not wrong.
She is also very good at cheer, and I want to be very good like her, but I'm going to be better. She always lifts me up, and she loves Jesus so much and shines his light. My mom is the best ever.
Okay, I teared up. I'm not going to lie. That was good.
And I'm like, she sees that in me. That's my mark.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those things that she says, I'm like, sometimes I'm just yelling and I'm angry and, the house is a mess.
Yeah.
All of the things.
You kids are on my nerves.
Yes.
My husband's on my nerves.
Exactly.
Am I just exuding like irritation right now?
Exactly. And so the other girl that she posted about was a Christian influencer that she follows. And then the last one was my mom. And I text my mom and I said,
Thank
oh
God
my
she's got
gosh.
some powerful women in her life.
I said, oh my gosh, how did that make you feel? She goes, it just made me love how she sees me through her eyes. And that's your mark. Mm-hmm. How your kids see you through your eyes. Sure, Xander can't put all of those words together. Jet and Oakley can't put all those words together. But I'm like, wow. It makes me want to be better. It makes, like, all of the things.
Absolutely. Gosh, that's so good. That is so good. When they're little, like Jet and Oakley and Xander, they can't put the words there, but their actions are there.
Oh, yeah.
They see you when you walk in the room
And they know.
and they light up. Or they're playing and they bring you the toy because they're like, Mommy, look at this,
Yes.
right? Or they share their food and you're like, I don't want that. Nasty.
Please, no. You can have that chewed up piece of cheese.
Yeah, that's yours, boo. That is yours. It's such...
It's an honor to get to be
Oh
a
my
mom.
gosh, it's so amazing.
And even more of an honor that you are leaving a mark. You're leaving a huge impression on somebody, and that God trusts you with Xander.
Yeah.
God trusts me with 3 kids, and sometimes I'm like, Jesus,
Why?
are you sure today? Ooh, these kids got me a little fired up. But anyway, so this week, do you have a mom win or a mom fail?
I failed last night.
Oh, no. It's so fresh.
So, bath time. I said this. We do this every night. Xander is in the wanting to stand on everything phase. And so we talked about this also. It's like he, tries to climb on the side of the tub and then he slips. And he climbs on the side of the tub and slips. But last night, I, couldn't catch him fast enough. And, he was in the far back corner of the bathtub.
Yeah.
And, as he started to slip, I grabbed his arm, but he had already hit his little face at this point. He's a tough cookie. He cried for just a second, and then he was good. But I felt so bad because he had this huge ring on his face where he ate it. And of course, my husband. I get out of the bathroom, and he's like, "What are you doing in there? You just letting him fall?" I'm like, "Thank you for making me feel worse than I already feel. I really don't need you to say that. You should ask if I'm okay."
Yeah, exactly. I'm crying now. It hurts to see your baby hurt.
Oh man,
That's too funny.
It is what it is.
He's okay. He survived.
He's fine.
Won't be the last time.
He's a boy.
Yep, exactly.
He is a boy. Brady is way more sensitive than I am whenever it comes to Xander and him getting hurt or anything like that. I'm like, rub some dirt on it, you're fine.
Justin's the same
That
way.
is the leave your mark. My dad did that. He would say, he would joke if I had a scrape on my knee and I'm like, oh, my knee hurts. He's like, well, do we need to cut it off? You need to cut it off right here? Dad joke, right?
Yep, exactly.
And so I'm not a dad, but I do that. I'm like, do we need to chop it off? Mm-hmm. And of course my niece and nephew are like, no, don't. So yeah, that's my fail. I just let my kid eat it in the tub.
It's fine. He's fine.
We were having a dance party, so that's my win. That's my win.
That's a win. So I too have a fail, which you might know about. Some of y'all might know about my mom fail, which now has 4,000 views on Facebook. So, sweet Jet. Oh, Jet. I love him.
He's
something else, all right. So, my sister-in-law texts me and says, hey, let's sign Jet and Sawyer up for soccer together. It's going to be great. And Justin's immediately like, no. Basketball is awful. We're not doing this. We're not going to do this again. So we did it again.
Of course.
Yeah. Now we're playing soccer. And him and Sawyer, they wanted no part of it. And the worst part about it is that we practiced all week with Jet. All week. And he was looking like a superstar, like the next Ronaldo. He was looking good, for a 3-year-old, whatever. But, so during the game, he's just crying. And Justin's bribing him with M&Ms in the worst way because he's just giving him the M&Ms and not making him do something.
He's not bribing him at all. He's just giving him a snack.
So he runs over and he's whining to me, and Justin's across the field where all the other kids with crying parents are, or crying kids are. Jet runs over to me, and I'm like, Jet, this is ridiculous. You did so good this week. You just need to go steal the ball and kick it in the goal. So Jet looks at me and just takes off. And I'm like, okay, we got this. Like, we do have a champion. We do. And he runs and is about to get into all the action. Trips over his own feet. Then manages to grab the ball. Runs off the field. And just running across almost into the street. Once he gets to the street, he stops and he throws the ball.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh no. And in the video, these people that I don't even know are like chasing after my kid. Meanwhile, I'm just videoing, like laughing. And he's doing this, and I'm like, I just yell. I'm like, where's that kid's parents?
You're like looking around.
Who's that
Who does
kid?
he belong to? It's not me.
Not mine.
You could sell that because he's this blonde hair, blue-eyed baby.
Like, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, mom failed. Total fail. We're going to try again this
That's
weekend.
hilarious.
We'll see how that goes. But, he just might only be a race car driver.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
There is nothing wrong with that. Which makes me, remind me later, I need to share a story with you about race car driving that we can share another time whenever this particular person is ready to share the story. But it sparked my brain. So
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Momsense Podcast. I'm Kambria.
And I'm Kyleigh.